I'm going to start with a banger of a quote from Ra. I'm going to read it so I get it actually correct. I love this quote. It's a little abrasive, has some impact, let's say. If you follow your mind and let it tell you what to do, you'll see how stupid you really are. That's a bold statement. If you follow your mind and let it tell you what to do, you'll realize how stupid you really are. Now, let me break that sentence down for a second. It's a little bit offensive because it has impact. Ra said this. Ra says things that have a tendency to wake us up. He's got a channel of initiation. He's very shocking. Ra is Ra, okay? I love Ra for what he is and how he brought the system to us. And I love when he has quotes that are kind of like, whoop, I heard that one. And so when I heard this one, I was like, well, I'm definitely bringing this into my motivation class. I just taught a class on motivation in my Advancing in Human Design series. It was the 5th class. It was the end of our variable learning. And I wanted to start with this quote. Now, what does it actually mean? You can't just hear the quote and be offended and argue against it. Why does Ra say that? Ra is talking about a certain kind of intelligence that lives in you. And it's not the intelligence of how to make decisions with the mind. It's the intelligence of having sense. I'm going to be fairly specific in my language about this. Most of us are familiar with the phrase common sense. Some of you may be familiar with the phrase common sense isn't that common. Now, in human design, we're not necessarily looking for common sense. We're looking for a unique sense, a differentiated sense. Now, when I say sense, sense is what we call cognition on the personality side. And really, it's a way of acknowledging what the tonal level is beneath the color. If we were on the brain side, in the body side, we would call it cognition. And in particular, the brain has cognition. The mind has sense. The brain goes down into environment and there's a quality of cognition. When we go over to view, there's a quality of a sense. But for the correct labeling of things, the brain has cognition. The mind has sense. The mind should have sense. A mind that has been developed by someone who has been through the other 3 transformations is a mind that is going to have a very unique sense. Someone who has been through determination, environment, view. When they finally get to the last transformation, you can tell it's kind of like complete by what kind of sense this person is able to demonstrate afterwards. Now, I have a strategic mind that is determined at a tonal level. The tonal level is where the sense is. I am a 3rd tone sense in my mind. That's action sense. That means I have a left-oriented strategic mind. Now, assuming that I'm following my projector strategy, I'm following my splenic authority, I'm feeding my brain according to the right determination, consecutive. I'm putting my body in the right environment, markets. It's bringing me the right people in my life and showing me the right things to see, personal view. Now, from all of that, I should be developing myself as a unique being, which leads me to the final development of the 4th transformation. And really what I'm aiming to develop there is the tone, is the action sense. If I'm correct in my mind and my motivation, I'm going to take strategic action innocently on what is right for me. Now, that action is the sense. It's a quality of intelligence that I'm demonstrating. If I transfer, if I'm not in my innocence and I transfer into desire motivation, I can tell because I can feel the change. But what is the change that I'm feeling? It's the disappearance of the sense. When motivation transfers, it loses access to the cognition behind it, to the sense behind it. The tonal level is not able to accurately express itself. So when I'm in my innocence truly, you will see me take innocent strategic action. But if I transfer to my desire, You're not going to see me take the right strategic action. There is no sense behind my decision making. This is why Ross said, if you follow your mind and let it make decisions for you, you'll realize how stupid you really are, because there's no sense behind the decision making. None of us are meant to make decisions from the mind. I make decisions more than anything from my spleen. That's my authority. You have a unique authority. Are you using that to make your decisions? Are you using your strategy and your authority to help you eat, to help you find the right environment, to help you see the right way, to be motivated the right way? The mind is nobody's inner authority, but the mind can be outer authority, and really outer authority for other people. It's getting a little bit sunny and it's a little bit distracting. It's a little bit bright, but honestly, it feels incredible. I miss the sun. It's winter. I can tell that I'm kind of like, yeah, no, I'm kind of like winding down on this already. It was a powerful statement. If you follow your mind and let it tell you what to do, you'll see how stupid you really are. Now, if we go into the view level, let me just say this before I go. If we go into the view level, it's not called transference, it's called distraction. And again, we talked about a quality of a sense in the environment. If you are distracted and you are not seeing correctly, the quality of that sense isn't necessarily working to your benefit. Real intelligence is differentiated. It's unique to you, unique to your strategy, your authority, your determination, your cognition. Like, you have so many unique mechanics that bring you a certain differentiated kind of intelligence. If you've heard the phrase, common sense isn't that common, that's okay. Common sense to me, in a way, is a conditioned sense, a homogenized sense. And maybe in certain ways, it's at least a 5 in terms of being, it's a practical sense or a universalized sense, but it's not unique. It's not differentiated. If you really want to express the kind of intelligence that you actually have to offer, you have to develop yourself a certain kind of way, strategy, authority, and get through your 4 transformations. When you get to the 4th transformation, you will become outer authority, because you're going to be uniquely intelligent the way that you are meant to be. My unique intelligence has a quality of action sense to it. What is yours?